We're just allowing others to join in good conference line. Greetings, my brothers and sisters, as well as me again, coming to you with the fresh word. Now, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you thought someone was really your friend, only to find out they were jealous of you? How does that make you feel? What about the time you became jealous of someone? You don't have to raise your hand. You don't have to say amen to that. It could have been when you were a kid, a long time ago. But how did that make you feel? So, have you ever noticed that in someone else? That they became jealous of someone and you noticed that in them? And you were shocked, like, I never knew you were jealous of me. Now I understand the behavior. Now, my brothers and sisters, jealousy is often rooted in insecurities and fears that a person may not even realize they have. They could include the fear of oversimplification, fear of inadequacy, fear of abandonment, or fear of being replaced. You know how it is. Sometimes people get intimidated when a new person comes on the job, a new person, new talented first round draft pick comes on the team. What about there's a fear of being judged? People get jealous of others simply because of their inadequacy to see their own worth and valuing what they are and who they have become and what they have. It could be that they have these feelings of jealousy because of, insecurity, low self-esteem, or fear of loss, or, something that may be a trigger that will cause them to compare themselves to others and perceiving that someone else is better or has something they desire. Like a better relationship, better career, or better earthly possessions, if you will, which can make someone feel inadequate or even threatened or intimidated when that person comes around. Think about it. Now, for those of you that are listening today, the title for today's message is "He is so jealous of you." Those that are listening to my conference line, he is so jealous of you. He is so jealous of you. Now, research has identified many root causes of extreme jealousy. As I mentioned earlier, low self-esteem, high neuroticism, feeling of possessiveness of others. You ever been in a situation where somebody's always trying to control you, possess you, tell you what to do, handle and control you? I'm talking about even adults trying to handle and control you. Now, this could be prevalent in many types of relationships, but particularly based on the research in those romantic relationships with romantic partners. Or even the jealousy may show itself from fear of abandonment. Now, that could also be a motivator. Now, how can you determine whether or not someone is really jealous of you? That's a good question. I know you asked the question. How do you know somebody really jealous of you? Well, here are some key indicators, if you will, to consider. Take note if you can. When you start to recognize certain behaviors or responses in those that you deal with on a regular. One is that their compliments feel like insults. For some of you, I heard someone say, "Girl, I thought about that same outfit, but it was a little dated." I thought about the same shoes, but I bought something else. Or I hear you about your little car. I see you got your little house. I heard, got your new little job, Yeah. I heard you seeing somebody now. Tell me about what they look like, what kind of car they drive, what they do for a living, what kind of titles do they have on their names. Really? Be mindful of those who try to spoil the good news that you have. Or those who really don't care about your achievements. When you tell them the goodness of God and how God has blessed you, or your kids, or your grandkids, or your family members, they kind of don't really say too much of anything. They try to spoil the good news with, you heard about something on the news, or social media, cut across the field on your good news. Think about it now. Because they really don't care about your achievements. They just trying to divert and get the spotlight off of you. Think about it. You're going to start paying attention to those that conduct themselves like that, say certain things. You're going to be like, I wonder if they're really jealous of me. I'm just saying. And then what about those that try to criticize your decisions? They always tell you, I wouldn't have done that if I were you. You should have done that. Always, you shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done this. Well, I wouldn't do it if I was you. I wouldn't take that leap of faith. I wouldn't submit that contract. I wouldn't submit that application. I wouldn't apply for that if I were you. Always negative. What about those that are always negative? They don't have anything positive to say. They're always negative. Always. Some of you are going to start paying attention. And you're going to hear some of these key indicators in your conversation. And you're going to think, is he so jealous of me? Or is she so jealous of me? They don't want to say it, but they are. Now in Genesis 4, verses 3 through 5, we see that both Cain and Abel, they brought offerings to the Lord, but the Lord respected Abel and his offering, but did not respect Cain's offering. And guess what? Cain was incredibly angry, and his countenance fell. You can find this in New King James Version. Cain's jealousy over God's acceptance of Abel's offering, it really got the best of him. It really consumed him, which led to a tragic outcome. Have you ever read a story or watched a movie or seen something in real life play out like that? The person was so jealous that they became outraged and then took action, made a poor choice. I'm just here to enlighten you and share some things that you need to pay attention to. This is why God gave me this word. He is so jealous of you. Even though God's warning to master his sinful desires, which is found in Genesis 47, Cain allowed his jealousy to really escalate and grow and get the best of him. In a premeditated act, Cain talked with Abel, his brother. And it came to pass when they were in the field all by themselves, Cain rose up against his brother and unalived him. Like we found in Genesis 4 and 8. Now, his unchecked jealousy, he didn't have it under control, led him to commit the ultimate sin, which is murder. Now, there are no results for the consequences of Cain's actions. Cain's jealousy, feud actions had severe consequences. See, when God controlled him in a situation where he confronted him about what happened, he said, "Where's Abel? Where is he?" He's like, he's trying to see if Cain will tell the truth. Guess what? Cain lied and said, "I don't know. don't know where he is. Where they? I don't know. Then he went and asked the question. Now he getting cocky. Am I my brother's keeper? But God knew the truth anyway. And guess what? God pronounced judgment on Cain. I tell folks this all the time. The wrath of God is so far more severe than what the enemy can do to you. I try to tell folks this all the time. So be obedient to God. God is calling you to do what He's told you to do. You can't lie to God. There are people that try, just like Cain. God said, the voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. So now you are cursed from the earth, which is open its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. A fugitive and a vagabond you shall be on earth. See, God's telling him what he's going to end up becoming because of the sin he's committed. Then he lied to God. That can be found in Genesis 4, verses 10 through 12. Cain's punishment included being cursed from the earth. The ground no longer yielding crops for him. Become a restless wanderer, like just homeless, a beggar. Now, truth be told, the consequences of his jealousy and his actions, it extended far beyond his personal life. And his descendants were known for their wickedness. Think about it. Because of his decision, all that sin fell on the generation behind him. Now, this is a good reminder for all of us that, the far-reaching effects of uncontrolled, unchecked jealousy and the sinful nature of it led him down the road to destruction. This is why it's not good to be jealous of someone. It's not good to be jealous of someone. There's only one that's jealous and has a rightful place to be jealous. That's God the Father. Now, what about Jacob's blatant favoritism towards Joseph, his son, with Rachel? Sowed the seeds of jealousy among his other sons. The Bible tells us, now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age. Also, he made him a tunic, of many colors, a cloak of many colors. And the brothers got jealous. It's just like you parents out there, sometimes you kind of see the differences in your kids, and sometimes, they may make you more proud than the others. And that's a natural response. You love your kids. I'm not saying you don't, but sometimes there are those that, will make you a little more proud than the others. And this will happen with the case with Joseph. Father found favor with him. Now, his brothers, just like Cain, allowed that jealousy to consume them, leading to the ultimate betrayal. The problem was Joseph shared his dream with them. He thought they would be proud of him. He thought they would be saying, that's awesome, we're blood brothers. That's awesome that God is going to use you in such a mighty way. But they didn't. They got jealous because of what Joseph said, that he was going to have a position in society. It's going to be a high-ranking position. He's going to become somebody. You thought they would be proud of him to be associated with someone of that stature. The blood brothers, no, they were jealous. This is why, my brothers and sisters, you can't share all of your dreams and goals and aspirations that God has given you with just anybody and everybody. You can't. Because they're so jealous. They may not tell you, but they'll show you. He's so jealous. Nowadays, people are so envious of the simplest things. You'll be surprised. You'll be amazed how people are jealous of the very minute things that you may do or even possess, yet they're jealous that you are in possession of those things, albeit skill sets, talents, earthly possessions, relationships. That hidden jealousy, you have to watch out for that. Brothers envy them so much, they say we go plot to unalive him, so we go put him in a pit and then tell everybody that some wild animal or animals, the wildlife, got a hold of him. And then we go see how his dreams come true then. Now you know that's cruel. We gonna see if his dreams gonna come true then. So they threw him in the pit, buried him alive. So they thought. Although Reuben intervened to spare his life, they still sold Joseph into bondage, which is slavery at the time, and deceived their father, told their father a lie. And they showed him his bloody coat, saying, this is what happened. They even lied to their father. They told him, see what happened to our brother? They probably cried, tears, put on a good show. I like they really concerned and cared for their brother. And they're the very ones that set the plot. No doubt, my brothers and sisters, you have folk that day one, there'll be people that you think want to turn their back on you. I've experienced that, folk I never would have thought in 1,000,000 years would have said some things towards me, about me, responded a certain way. I never would have thought in 1,000,000 years they would be the ones. But yet I had to experience the betrayal. It hurt. Yeah, it hurt. Because those are people that you really thought loved you, that really had your back. It was really in your corner, in your circle. And they had every right to be. Yet, just like Joseph's brothers, just like Cain, jealousy set in. They allowed jealousy to come in. And jealousy does what jealousy does. Just like when we talk about Saul and David, King Saul and David, his envy for David was evident because he saw him as a rising star. Like he's a new kid on the block. He's the next ambassador. He's the next governor. He's the next president. He's the next prince. He's the next king. It's just like you. He's the next supervisor. He's the next manager. He's the next CEO. This person's the next, CFO of the company coming up. You can see the rising star. You can see the talent coming up, and they get jealous. You may be the next head football coach, and they can see you coming up the ranks because now you're a defensive coordinator, and y'all, you got a good track record. But now the head coach jealous of you because you can motivate the kids or the players better than he can. And then the rumor mill starts, oh, he could be the next head coach. So now the coach over here is jealous and start rumor, trying to set the defensive coordinator up. You follow me? That's what it looks like, in society today. As an example, maybe the same thing in church. I know a situation, real life, husband and wife, working diligently in the church, was inviting new people, the membership had increased, and people was wondering were they the pastor and first lady. And they're like, no, I'm just the head deacon. She's just one of the head missionaries. And so pastor and first lady became jealous and started putting other people in position of other auxiliaries in the church, and was suggesting that they release their responsibility because they have become jealous. In the house of God, they were jealous. As a result, that couple had to move on and withdraw their membership because it was ungodly. Be careful, my brothers and sisters, those who say they're for you, but jealousy speaks otherwise. Their speech betrayed them. Because you know, when David, he defeated Goliath, it really went viral. And people started talking about David, and he was getting all the admiration, and he was the talk of the town, so to speak. All the women were talking about him, because they were saying stuff like, hey, Saul, he slayed thousands, but David, woo, boy, David slayed 10,000. Think about it. It's just like the comparison you hear now. Who's the GOAT in every sport? Who's the GOAT? GOAT. We can't even get over the fact that we got to respect those that are already in office. We looking for the next thing possible. Which sometimes, if the one already in office is not settled and mature enough, they will let jealousy come in. And Saul became incredibly angry when he heard what everybody was saying. And that's when he put out a hit on David. Because he couldn't stand everybody talking about how good David is in comparison to him. It's just like nowadays, they keep talking about who's the GOAT. Is LeBron James the GOAT? Or is Michael Jordan the GOAT? There are many comparisons. And they keep talking about the same thing. There's so many people that play that particular sport that were great. There's so many names not even mentioned in that conversation because it's not even funny. Now, King Saul, his jealousy blinded him so much so that he couldn't even see how loyal David was to him. Working for him, David was loyal to him and had no intention in trying to overthrow him. You weren't trying to do it. It's just like some of you on your job. You trying to get the position of your manager, your supervisor, or, district manager. You just working as unto God, and people are seeing your skill set and your talent. And no doubt upper management starting to hear the buzz, and now they may be intimidated. They might be intimidated. Not anything you're doing, it's just the fact that they're insecure who they are. It could be. Many of you can have that same situation as a testimony at some point, I'm sure. When you found out, you thought your person that you consider the best friend, your day one, come to find out somebody else told you something they said, you like, oh my goodness. I can't believe they said that about me. And they said, yeah, bro, I tried to tell you, it was jealous for you the whole time. You just crushed, like, you got it, you kidding me. I have no jealousy in my heart towards them. And it's hard for us who have experienced that to really fathom that and digest it, because we don't see it like that. Many of you are like me. You want to see others do well and succeed in life. I have nothing to gain by being jealous of you. I will encourage you, just like I do every week. Encourage you to be all that you can be, all that God will have you to be. There's no room for jealousy in me. But He is so jealous of you. Even though Saul was so focused on trying to pursue David, he was throwing arrows at David. He was trying to set him up, send him into battle to become unalive. David was, he showed restraint and mercy towards Saul, even though he knew Saul was trying to get rid of him. Even though he knew Saul was jealous and trying to get rid of him, he still showed restraint and mercy. And he even had opportunities to unalive Saul. Y'all know that? David had opportunities to really get rid of Saul, but he didn't. It's just like when I forget the young comedian name who was on Wild 'N Out when Nick Cannon went through a little series of backlash and they tried to cancel him. There was a comedian who said he was offered to take over and show Wild 'N Out. He said, "No, I can't do this because of what this man has done for me and open opportunity. I will not backstab this man. I will not go behind his back and try to do something and take something that he built and gave me an opportunity for because he going through something. I will not talk bad about it." He showed great character and admiration. I can't think of the young comedian's name, but he actually said that. And I said, wow, there are still people in the world today that live with integrity, even in the entertainment business. My brothers and sisters, in Exodus 20, God is speaking. He's saying, "I am the Lord, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You should have no other gods before me." He's a jealous God. He is so jealous of you. You should not make for yourself carved images or any likeness of anything that is in heaven or that is in the earth or beneath the earth. In other words, he's saying, don't make any other gods before me. He is a jealous God. He is so jealous. Some people can make watching sports a God. Playing sports, their God. Shopping online as a God. Come on now. Some people make their kids out to be little G's, or their spouses, or grandkids, or whoever, their partner. Anything. Or organizations. He said, "Thou shalt not have any other God before me, no carved images or any likeness of anything that is in heaven, in the earth, or beneath, or even in the water underneath." That's in the word of God. He said, "You should not bow down to them or even serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God." It's right there in the word of God in Genesis 20 and verse 5. He said, "You should not bow down to them or serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity now of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing steadfast love to thousands of those who love me and keep my commandments." My brothers and sisters, say this with me. He is so jealous. He is so jealous. He is so jealous of you. He is so jealous of you. You should not take the name of the Lord your God in vain either. For the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. My brothers and sisters, we serve a jealous God who sits high and looks low and is a loving God, merciful God, all-knowing God, all-powerful God, who wants to bless you. He wants to see you succeed. He wants really all of you and not half of you. In other words, he wants your undivided attention and commitment. He is so jealous of you. Be blessed.